Welcome to T-Smack, home of the T-Smack. May I take your order?
Hello there! Welcome to an all-new episode of Talking Smack, where we talk surfing, mesas, abs, and chicas. I am your host, Jack SMACley, and joining me as always is my co-host, Anthony DeCat. Anthony, how are you doing today?
I've just been hanging 10 and looking for Johnny Utah. We got a big score we need to do, and I need his intelligence.
Your improv skills are too good. I was hoping to pull you a little off guard.
Why would I be off guard? Here, wear this president's mask and let's do this.
Dibs on Tricky Dick.
Fantastic. And you know what? It's so cold out right now. Why don't you become Johnny Tsunami and hit the slopes with me?
Tricky Dick might be a little small given the cold.
If you're listening to this around release time, it is currently negative 20 something outside.
Last I saw it was negative 13 degrees on my drive home today.
Yeah, and most of the southwest of the U.S. is being hit by, southeast of the U.S. is just being hit by just this Arctic freeze and snow. So, grab a warm pet and some blankets and bundle up because it's damn cold.
I woke up at 5:30 this morning and immediately checked my weather app to see what it was, and it was negative 28 with the wind chill. And I was like, I wonder what that is in Celsius so I can complain to our friends abroad. And it was so cold. How cold was it? It was so cold that the Celsius and the Fahrenheit were not that far off. Negative 28 is negative 33 in Celsius.
We have found the magic number that we can unite under negative 30. But you're not here to hear us talk about the cold. You're here to hear us talk about the warmth of love, for it is quickly becoming the month of love. Bow, bow,
October?
bow. Is that the month of horror?
I don't know. I mean, counter programming says this is the month of horror, or February is the month of horror. January is the month of horror, given like the movies they put out.
Oh, poor 28 years later, the Bone Temple.
What the hell was Sony thinking with that one? Is it Sony's the one that owns the rights to that?
Yep, that would be a Sony.
Yeah,
probably.
they went, January's a wasteland. Maybe we can actually make some money this time around. And no.
No. And then, unfortunately, right now, it looks like Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson are experiencing not only a frigid reception at the box office, but the frigid temperatures of indifference. Oh,
yeah.
mercy.
Why do you think Mario only has 2 words in the one trailer that they've released for Mario Galaxy so far?
Wahoo!
It's trash.
That's right. They just announced the Minecraft movie 2 is starting to film less than a year after the first one released.
Oh, God. I mean, at least we got our first look at Momoa as Lobo.
I saw no difference compared to him as Aquaman.
I mean, he does have a cigar instead of a whiskey bottle.
Oh, you know what? That's true. It's completely changes things.
So as Alex mentioned, we are entering the month of love. We will be talking about a few movies we think you should steer away from in the upcoming romantic season as you get ready to watch stuff with your partner and watch movies that should set a mood, let's say. But first and foremost, we're going to set the mood by having you listen to a promo from our dear friend and someone who is just like putting silk through your ears, Antonio over at the Cultworthy. We'll be right back.
The Cultworthy Podcast. Join me, Antonio Palacios, each week as I guide you through a never-ending sea of obscure cinema and cult-worthy gems that deserve a rediscovery. Find me on all listening platforms and at thecultworthy.com. The Cultworthy Podcast. Join us.
The hardest working man in indie podcasting, as far as I'm concerned. The man does not, I don't know how he sleeps, when he sleeps, and he just produces amazing content all around. And he should be joining us later in the year for the Godzilla Minus Zero episode, because we have to keep up with tradition and bring him back after he helped us with Godzilla Minus One. So, there's that out of the way. Antonio, we love you. And let's start talking about things we don't love. You had pitched this originally as like rom-coms we don't like, but
Mhm.
there are so many bad rom-coms
Oh,
that it's kind of hard to really be like, this is why I hate this one. I think it's better to go after the ones that go out, like they try to create an emotional response. It's not just we're trying to be silly and goofy and
Yeah.
whatever. I think we needed to really go after the ones that really try to do something to you. So we're going to start with romantic movies we don't like, not just rom-coms. If there is a rom-com in there, that's fine. It's not against the rules. But romantic movies, I leaned more into the drama of it. So do you want to go with one of mine since I brought two, or do you want to talk about yours first?
Let's sandwich mine. We'll do one of yours first.
Yours is a big one. I don't know,
I-
man. So okay, we'll start with one of mine. We'll go with a quick and sweet one. This is one, no pun intended. This is a movie I've only ever seen once in my life. Both movies I've actually only seen once because I really refuse to go back to either of them. But this first one I'm going to talk about, we will discuss, is Sweet November, starring Charlize Theron and Keanu Reeves. I saw this once, and like it was not the most ideal viewing experience. I will give it its credit where it's due. I watched this on like TBS randomly one year in like 2007, 2008. So I'm at like my lowest mental health point in my life as well. What the hell is this movie? Keanu Reeves unknowingly falls in love with a terminally ill Charlize Theron, who apparently with her terminal cancer diagnosis just has month-long relationships with people, makes them fall in love with her because she's just so darn adorable, and then walks away so they can have a happy memory of her before she disappears forever. And then she meets Keanu Reeves, and boy, do things change for her.
Oh, so this movie is filmed, I think, came out right after the first Matrix movie, sometime 2001, and this is still where Charlize Theron is really finding her groove as to what kind of actress in roles that she wants. So she's done like Mighty Joe Young. She already did a movie with Keanu, Devil's Advocate, which I love. Devil's Advocate. Al Pacino is just eating the scenery. Keanu is great at it. The twists and the turns and reveals of that. She's done like Mighty Joe Young and the Cider House Rules, but she really hasn't found her groove. She hasn't done Monster yet. And so this is like her going after like a rom-com kind of thing. And I remember liking the movie in theory, but hating it in execution. Because it's kind of, I mean, she has terminal cancer and she's decided to deal with this by just repeatedly falling in love, and she gives every person a month that and then at the end of the month she like breaks up with them and then looks for like a new victim, I guess.
Victim's one way to put it. Yeah. It's sociopathic tendencies.
Yeah. And I kind of like part of it because there is something charming about like they've been together their month, they break up, but he still kind of desires her, she still desires him, and the way he convinces her is that we'll just treat every month as if it's November, so that like reveal that like all the calendars in the house are every month is November no matter what, I mean that's kind of sweet. But it also is just, I wonder if it's one of those scripts that got greenlit because City of Angels ended in such a downer way.
For me, I have a problem with the terminally ill romance. And I think because part of it is it's really targeted towards younger audiences, where I feel like if you're going to do a terminally ill romance, like The Notebook is a really good way to do it because they're older. They have a reason to be like, oh, well, at least I got this one last moment with them. Like, I understand that because you build up towards it. You have a whole life to have lived. Whereas this is like, you're really preying on the tragedy of like, oh, it's a young person who never got a chance to live. and now they have to find romance and live an entire life in just these few short moments. And this movie, I really don't like the fact that, and not to like sex shame anyone, but like to have someone go, I'm terminally ill, I'm going to be dead within a few years, a few months, I'm going to go bang as many people as I can, I'm going to go fall in love with someone as many times as I can. That's weirdly selfish, which like,
Yeah.
you're dying, I can kind of understand being a little selfish, but in a romance sense, like even in the movie, she says something to the effect of like Keanu Reeves proposes to her, which apparently she's been proposed to every time she's done this like month thing. And she's like, yeah, he was the first time I ever actually wanted to say yes. And like they tried to like drive it home, like, oh, this time it was real. Yeah, but it started off with ill intent, no pun intended. And it just, I don't know. For me, it's just something that doesn't resonate because I don't buy into that kind of behavior. Like people do that, but like, that's not something that I emotionally connect with is a better way of saying it.
I think the way it's filmed, it really works. Like I did like it. I haven't revisited it just because it's just not one of Keanu's movies that works for me necessarily. Next week, when we do the movies we liked, there is a Keanu one in there that I do revisit that I love. But I remember at the end, like just crying because it doesn't work out. And it does do that City of Angels tragic love story thing where the person's left alone and devastated, right? But when I actually sat back and thought about it, it is so manipulative. Not necessarily on his part, but it is just that like she knows she can give him so much, but she's purposely twisting things to continue to do this to person after person. And even like her neighbors at one point start like, oh, you're November? Yeah, October was a nice guy too, or something like that. Yes, this is just a thing she's been doing. And then once she reaches the point that, they try to make it work and they're in love, she then abandons it to kind of save him. And in the weird way, there's also that part where there's like a child involved where they both kind of like this like 10-year-old like neighbor girl who they both kind of like taken as a ward briefly. It's just it is so focused on making you not think about the tragedy while also trying to like fit like the picturesque perfect family thing in there. Like, oh, hey, if she wasn't dying, they would have like a 10-year-old kid because he's a busy, executive guy who just got fired. I don't dislike it. I just don't find a reason to go back to it because I don't need that kind of like terminal love story pain.
The ending is the big flaw for me because you would think even in a false positive kind of sense, them ending up together is kind of where the movie is really leading up to, because as much as it is about Keanu Reeves' character kind of learning to let loose a little bit, because it's one of those kind of stories where he's an uptight executive guy who loses his job and now he has to learn how to be a person. Oh God. Because he wasn't one while he was working. And now he finds this romance that has changed him forever. And she doesn't really move other than, again, admitting behind closed doors to someone else that, yes, I'm actually in love with this guy. And then at the end of the movie, she's like, no, we can't be together because reasons. And I don't want you to see me go through the final stages of this. So all your memories of me are going to be happy. And it's like, the fuck they are. This is going to be the defining moment where you walked away. And everything around that is just going to be bittersweet, if not building towards resentment at some point in his life. Which, again, that's putting a realistic spin on things. It's not living in the romantic bubble that the movie is creating. But it's not a movie that I feel like is something that you watch on Thanksgiving, on Valentine's Day, and you go, oh, yeah, now I'm in the mood.
You just actually reminded me of something. If the gender roles were flipped, this would be a Hallmark movie. Busy executive girl gets her life fixed through sex with a guy by a guy and learns to let loose.
It's true. I mean, it's a trope for a reason.
The only thing that they would have to change, it would have to be called Sweet December.
Hey, the holidays start November 1st now.
That's true. Oh, I've never realized this, but apparently this movie is actually a remake of a 60s film also called Sweet November. That is basically the same premise. Yeah, they just kind of made it for the modern audience. Keanu, I love you. Charlize Theron, I love you. I mean, Lauren Graham, pre-Gilmore Girls, bless you. You were good in this movie. Jason Isaacs is there, but
he's Jason Isaacs. Yeah, he always knocks it out.
It doesn't do anything for me. And I've heard some people like mention that, oh yeah, that was really cute. Almost as much in the same breath that they would mention another Keanu one. What is it? The Mailbox or whatever that one was.
Yeah, that was the Sandra Bullock reuniting movie. The Lake House.
The Lake House. There we go.
It's a magic mailbox at the Lake House.
Ooh. Yeah, maybe Keanu just isn't meant to be a romantic comedy leading man.
So we're not going to dive too deep into it, but I was just thinking about like that trope that we're talking about, like girl comes in and just completely changes an uptight dude into something else. Another movie that I really just do not like and I don't understand the hype of is 500 Days of Summer.
I never got it. I watched it once.
Same. I could not get into it. And it was one of those movies that, again, just kind of hit in the wrong time for me. Again, I'd gotten out of a really bad relationship that destroyed me for a long time. This movie came out and this guy's just sitting there trying to be like, no, we need to be together. And she's like, no, we don't. And he's like, but we're going to be together. She's like, we don't have to be. And I don't want to be. And he's like, but we are, right? Like that movie just drove me nuts because it's like, get a fucking clue, man.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I get that it's like a sugar rush, but in terms of like being a romantic comedy or something like that, I hate them all. I hate Scott, and I hate the girl he's going after, and I'm just like, I can't root for somebody who objectively is like this miserable evil person.
It's because of the funny comedy surrounding him. It's easy to root for the comedy.
It is. And I mean, and the visuals are great. And, you know, you have Captain America as a dick, which is great. And Superman's also in there as a jerk. But every time that anyone's just like, oh my gosh, it's been like, you know, it's a 5-year anniversary, 10-year, 15-year anniversary of this great underrated film. I'm like, no, Ramona is a bad person. Scott is objectively a horrible person.
But like Ramona is aware that she's a bad person.
Oh yeah,
like
she is.
There's some redeeming qualities to her in the sense that she's like, you're getting into some trouble with me, so be aware.
Yeah.
Whereas Scott, yeah, everyone tells him he's a bad person, and he's just kind of like, yeah, okay, and moves on. But yeah, if you strip it down to the bare bones of the characters, like yeah, Scott's a bad person, but everything around that movie is just so phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It is. I just wish it wasn't about this objectively like miserable guy going for, you know, breaking his girlfriend's heart while cheating on her, and Ramona knowingly cheating with him just so that, you know what? At least we got Chris Evans and Brandon Routh together because they were great.
Don't forget about Thomas Jane as the vegan police.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, you got Brie Larson, Alison Pill, Audrey Plaza. It's great. It's a great cast.
Anna Kendrick's in there too as Scott's sister.
Mm-hmm. And Mary Elizabeth Winstead is always charming, but like, maybe it's because Michael Cera is so good at just being this whiny, unlikable kind of person that it just brings that extra layer of like, man, I hate Scott. Why am I cheering for him? Why am I trying to cheer for him to beat up all these evil exes?
So speaking of why are we cheering for this guy, let's get into your movie that we like legitimately want to talk about that's on the thumbnail of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
There's the very controversial and much talked about Keira Knightley is it Joseph Fiennes?
Yeah.
Storyline, is that the one? Yeah. Where she's just like, I just recently got married and I'm gonna go smooch this guy and give him weird signals. Let's talk Love Actually.
I hate this movie so much. And I despise that it's like a Christmas classic or something like that. And there are people who always celebrate it. And it made so much money. It made, like, it had a $40 million budget, made like, I don't know, 250, 300 worldwide, probably by the time all the re-releases and other crap. It bothers me so much because it's not like, well, if you look
It
into
made
the
245 worldwide, 59, basically 60 million domestically, 185 internationally.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you have Emma Thompson, Hugh Grant, Alan Rickman, Liam Neeson, Colin Firth, Bill Nighy, Laura Kinney, Andrew Lincoln, Keira Knightley, Martin Freeman, Bilbo Thorne's in there, Mr. Bean's in there, all these people, and I find the only storyline that I actually liked was Bill Nighy's relationship with his manager, which doesn't really end up with them together so much as, no, wait, is it Bill Nighy or is it? Yeah, it was Bill Nighy's one. They just end up like these two old rockers and they just end up hanging out together. And then, like, the resolution of their storyline is they're going to go wank off together while watching porn. But the thing that I hate the most about it is I dislike Keira Knightley's love triangle so much because it's not romantic. You could have said something all along. You waited till they got married, then you interrupted the wedding, the wedding procession, and then it's supposed to be sweet that you get her to lie to her husband that there's carolers at the door so that he can profess his love again, and then you make out with him briefly and send him on his way. I hate that storyline so much, and that people find it romantic.
It's not a great start to a marriage where she's immediately running off him into infidelity.
No, I just dislike it. And the only reason I think that the prime minister storyline works with what's his name?
Hugh Grant?
Hugh Grant works is because it's Hugh Grant. You put a mildly unattractive man in there as the prime minister, that's an abuse of power relationship. And I found it funny at first, the Martin Freeman storyline, that he and his love interest are porn stand-ins. I mean, that actually is funny. But then the joke is that they start dating and she's actually a prude. So he's actually never seen her naked outside of work. And I'm like, ha. I just find this movie so hard to like. I get that part of it is like it came out a little bit after 9/11 and they start with like that whole kind of that heart tug of like the people who lost, messages at 9/11 and all of them, they were never of hate, they were all of love. And that love still exists elsewhere. And it's like, yes, when you say it with a British accent to an American, I'm sure it sounds great. But none of these storylines just really do anything for me. They're just people cheating on each other or breaking hearts or like are abusing their power. And the one with like like I said, I only saw it like once a long time ago. But I remember there was one about like a guy who finds out his girlfriend is cheating on him with his younger brother, which that destroyed that family. And so he goes home and he sleeps with his housekeeper who doesn't speak English.
But then he goes off and learns English. I think like that's one of the few good storylines in that one, is because he like seems to genuinely care for the housekeeper, even though again it's a really weird employer-employee relationship that this movie really likes to dive into.
Yeah, I just don't like it. It feels too forced, too contrived, and it really does seem to really just lean on the goodwill of like all these charming people, not to think about it, like even like I said, the Keira Knightley one where it's just like, oh, he's holding the papers and he's doing like the boombox thing from Saying Anything, and so it's like, yes, it would be in generally romantic, if it was before the wedding and she was having second thoughts, maybe. But it's after
even
the
then,
wedding.
like the only way that scene actually, like I did not see this movie until like within the last 2 or 3 years. I think it was after the Ted
Really?
Lasso Christmas episode. Yeah, Phoebe does the Love Actually thing to one of her classmates who hurt her feelings because she was having an allergic reaction to her antihistamines because of her new cat. And I was like, I need to see Love Actually because like I know what this is from, but I don't know the context of this scene. Several weeks later, I watched Love Actually, and I was just like, yeah, this isn't great. This is a lot of really weird, like, power dynamic issues with employers really pushing themselves on employees. And then you have this Keira Knightley story, which, like, we're not even going to get into the problematic stuff of her being like 17 when they filmed this. She was a minor when they filmed this.
I thought she was like in her mid-20s when they filmed this.
No, she didn't even hit her. I think she just hit her 20s when Pirates of the Caribbean came out or when they were filming. But I think she was like 17 and like she was 18 when they were doing the red carpet stuff.
Sure enough, you're right. Yeah, she was 17 filming this. Huh.
We're not going to get into that. That's obviously gross and icky. But the guy being the videographer for the wedding and like just taking videos of her and secretly being in love with her, it's gross because I can understand like, oh yeah, like my best friend's in love with the girl of my dreams, blah, blah, blah. I get that. And it sucks. But when you make a move on her after the wedding and you don't talk to your friend about it or anything like that, like that's a problem. If this was a movie about, or if this was a storyline in a movie about like controlling parents, keeping two wannabe lovers apart, that scene works really well. He's circumventing the system that the parents have created. But in this case, he is going around his friend's back to be like, hey, I love you. I have loved you for a long time. I don't know how else to get this out there. Bye. And then she chases after him and gives him a kiss. Like, what is he supposed to do with that? What are you supposed to be doing as a newlywed? Like, it's gross all around.
I guess it's just really funny that like the one that I like really dug was the manager and the rock star. And they're like, well, I guess we're the love of each other's lives. Let's go watch some porn, my friend. I kind of did like the Bilbo and the other person just because that's just so funny. Just occasionally cut back to them and it's like they're just standing there just touching junk. And it's like, yeah, can you thrust a little bit? Yeah, we need to get the lighting. I mean, that is funny, but the resolution just of the whole like wah, get it? It didn't really dig it. And the weird storyline of that guy flying to Denver because he wants to like have like threesomes because his British accent's so good or something. I have no clue where he flew. Anytime somebody brings up how romantic it is, I just get this like skin crawl of like, I don't know if I can trust you. You know, I don't know if like it's so romantic. He stood there like in the snow. It's like, no. It's like, yes, like the prime minister and his like secretary. I'm like, it's a little abuse of power. What happens if the guy breaks up with his like housemate? Does he fire her? Does she keep working there? I know these are questions I shouldn't be thinking, but they make me think these like, and it all rubs me the wrong way. Like, I'm not saying you need to have uncomplicated love stories. I mean, like Princess Bride's complicated as heck, man. He was a stable boy. She never really said, she treated him like crap, even though he said, as you wish. And she realized it, but then he became a pirate and she's marrying Humperdinck and boo on you. You can have that of a complication and like torn emotions. And I'm like, fine with that. I just hate the idea of like, just be honest with your feelings. If you're going to disrupt somebody's life or you're going to disrupt your life, just be forward. Okay. Tear the Band-Aid. Listen, I don't love you anymore. I'm going to go cheat on you with the photographer. And I know it's Christmas. Tell your mom I'm sorry. Something.
I don't know. None of those situations are any good. And again, the newlywed one especially, just it's so bad because it's not romantic. Like Runaway Bride works to an extent because it builds towards something. Like it's all about her insecurities
Yeah.
and where she ends up. Whereas this one is literally, she's happy. She's going to be happily married to this guy's friend. She's told that she's this other guy's in love with her, and she's like, that's cute. I'm going to give him a smooch. It's not romantic. If anything, it is misleading.
Yes.
This guy is, again, going to be, there's a How I Met Your Mother bit where like someone, what is it called? It's being on the hook, I think is the term, where you just kind of leave a door open with someone who knows you have no intention of ever dating or doing anything romantic with, but they dote on you in a way that makes you feel good about yourself. So you keep them on the hook because you say something to the effect of like, well, we can't be together right now. And so you leave a little bit of that window open so that you can always be like, oh, hey, Cynthia, I'm free tonight. You want to give me a foot massage and watch me watch TV? Okay. And they go through these cycles of like people who are on their hooks and all this other stuff. And like, that's what that feels like to me, is where Keira Knightley finds out like, oh, Joseph Fiennes likes me. I'm happily married and like in my honeymoon period, but it'll be good to have him on the hook just in case something goes wrong or in case I get bored. And like, there are other storylines in this movie that have their own problems, but like, that's my biggest one, because like infidelity is a big deal breaker for me in movies. If you want me to care about a character, making them cheat on their spouse or support someone cheating on their spouse, I'm done. I'm out. Cheating is a big no-no for me.
Yeah. I mean, that's my thing too, is that like, I can understand breaking up, and I can understand like
you drift apart, stuff like
that. You're getting closer to the wedding, and you realize marriage isn't for you or something like that, or like, this isn't exactly what I had thought about,
or you're terminally ill.
Yeah, you're terminally ill from greener pastures or something like that. You realize you've never had the discussions that you should have had, like, oh, well, we're going to get married and we're going to have 2.5 kids and 1.5 cats, one dog. You're going to have that discussion, and you realize you have different interests. And so you move on with, the burly stable boy in that small town that celebrates Christmas 24/7. I get that. But if you're in love and you're just like stringing somebody else along, or it's like, oh, you love me too, that's so sweet. No. Or it's just like you're attracted to the devastating prime minister, or, Alan Rickman wanting to like, hang out and give a little something to his secretary while his wife is like, what are you doing? No, I don't dig it. What do you have for us, Josh?
The last thing I've got is Me Before You, inspired by the book by the same name by Joe Moyes. This is a 2016 movie starring Khaleesi herself, Emilia Clarke, and Fennec from the Hunger Games, Sam Claflin. Sam Claflin plays a tetraplegic who millionaire, billionaire, playboy, whatever. He was in a motorcycle accident, and now he has no mobility. He got Christopher Reeved. He can't move, and he's so depressed that he has decided he's going to go to Switzerland and kill himself. But until he is going to go to Switzerland and have a doctor kill him through assisted suicide. But before he can do that, his parents have decided that he needs a caretaker, and they hire Emilia Clarke because she's out of work and she's looking to make a quick buck, and she's got a dick of a boyfriend played by Matthew Lewis, who most everyone would know as ugly kid turned handsome kid savior in the Harry Potter movies. I'm forgetting his name right now.
Neville Longbottom.
Neville Longbottom, yes. Yeah, Neville Longbottom, as played by Matthew Lewis. He's one of the things I really remember about this movie, which is this is another one I've only ever seen the once. Matthew Lewis plays an asshole wonderfully well. Like, he treats Emilia Clarke like crap, and you're like, yeah, this is that guy. He is that guy. And yet somehow, like, he's manipulative enough to keep her around, which, like, he plays that all really well. Through the course of Emilia Clarke being Sam Claflin's caretaker, they fall in love, and Neville Longbottom gets jealous and decides that he's just done. He sees the signs, and he's like, you know what? You're being a bitch. I'm out. Because it's always her fault. He's that guy too.
I need to ask like two clarifications. This is a romantic movie?
It's a romantic movie. She falls in love with her caretaker or the person she is taking care of.
Okay. Okay, so he doesn't get injured like during the course of the relationship. It starts
No.
off with he has been injured and she's hired as a caretaker. Is he
Yes.
already thinking of suicide, or does being around her make him?
It's already a foregone conclusion. Like he is
Oh,
like,
okay.
I'm going to Switzerland, and his parents are like trying to get him to like rethink things, which is why
Okay.
they hire a pretty girl to take care of him.
Okay, because I was really hoping that like it's like in the middle of the movie he's just like, being around you makes me want to commit suicide.
I mean, it's pretty much like that, but like in a slightly different way, because it's more or less like, oh, you've shown me how beautiful life can be, even as someone with disabilities,
Oh,
a person who was able and now I am disabled, or however you would like to put it, able-bodied, now I am disabled, but I'm still going to go kill myself. Like that's the message of the movie. Like, I don't care about what this does. It's the same thing as Sweet November. Is I don't care what this time we've had together does to you after I'm gone, but please think of me nicely, even though I am the one making you sad in this moment. But at the end of the movie, he also leaves her a bunch of money so she can go live her dreams.
okay. Clarification. He's injured. She gets hired as a caretaker, kind of like they're trying to honeypot him into staying alive.
To a degree, yes. Again, they're trying to find a way to get him to not kill himself yet, his parents.
Yeah.
And so again, they reach out to Emilia Clarke. She's cute. She's pretty. Maybe she can do something. And he's just being an asshole to whoever gets in his way because he's like, I need to get to Switzerland till someone can kill me. Eventually, she keeps like trying to show him different things, takes him on different trips. And he's like, yeah, this is beautiful. This is wonderful. This is amazing. I'm still killing myself.
Okay. Do they kiss?
You better believe it, baby.
Do they?
I don't believe so. Again, as a tetraplegic, I don't believe he has that ability.
I was just asking because I remember like kids when he said he was Christopher Reeves. Christopher Reeves, perhaps the greatest Superman there ever was, who ended up as a tetraplegic due to a horse riding accident. I remember a 2020 interview, even though I was a child, a 2020 interview, it may have been with Barbara Walters, where they asked,
you mean
like,
2000 or on 2020? I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
On the TV, the news program 2020,
2020.
not in the year 2020.
Yeah, with Hugh Downs and Barbara.
I was going to say he unfortunately was gone for a while at that point.
Yeah. I remember them asking his wife, I forget her name, but like, how does this work with like intimacy, which is so important for relationship? And she says, oh, things still work quite well, or something like that. And I was like, and I'm like 10, like look around like, I think that's important to know, but I don't know why.
I mean, he is Superman.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't know, or, like Family Guy, where like Joe goes, Bonnie and I still have sex. It so happens. And Bonnie goes, yes, Joe and I have sex. Because they had another kid. So, I mean, I don't know, sure, good. They get the kiss and all that. That's great. The moral of the story is life can be beautiful, but you still want to end your life as long as you give money to your caretaker.
Yeah, as long as the people that you love are still well taken care of after you're gone, it's fine, I guess. It's a really muddy story because Emilia Clarke's character, like, other than having lost her job and being in a bad relationship, is not like in a terrible place. Like, she was a successful like banker, if I remember. Or no, the Hunger Games guy was a banker and a sportsman, I guess. I'm looking at the Wikipedia just to clarify.
Right.
Louisa Lou Clarke is hired as caretaker for Will Traynor, a once successful banker and active sportsman, now tetraplegic, after being hit by a motorcycle. Will's mother hopes Lou's personality will lift Will's depressed and cynical spirits. Will is initially cold towards Lou. Will's ex-girlfriend Alicia visits and reveals that she's going to marry Will's former best friend Rupert. Lou perseveres and Will, and as the two grow close, she learns he is cultured and worldly, in contrast to her simple life spent with her parents and her boyfriend Patrick. That's the opening paragraph of the Wikipedia page.
Man, you've been sleeping on me. A pre Mission Impossible and obviously Fantastic Four. Vanessa Kirby's in this. You should have led with Charles Dance is in this.
I've only seen the movie once, and Vanessa Kirby's not even. Oh, there she is. She plays Alicia. Wow. The first time I remember Vanessa Kirby in anything was About Time, and she plays Rachel McAdams' fun best friend.
Yeah. Oh man, I love About Time.
We'll talk more about it next week.
Oh, this doesn't. So, did people like this movie? Is
I
it
have no
generally
idea. That's a
thought of?
great question. Let's look up. I'm willing to bet. What do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score is? I'm going to say 30%.
I'll be slightly more generous and say 43, because it sounds like another one of those kind of like tragedy porn like love stories, and I just dislike those.
Okay, so review score is 55%. You were closer.
Okay.
Audience score is 73%.
Wow. Okay, so most people dig it. Okay. Weird.
The first review on here: ableism as romance makes disabled partners look like burdens, and erasure look like love.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
not wrong, Carrie from Autostraddle.
That's a little rough.
Like it really is. I don't know. It's one of those stories that, among other things, it really feels like it's really shitting on people with disabilities.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh God, how can I live now that I can't ride a motorcycle or feel the wind in my hair, even though like I don't know. It's a movie that just it really does not do enough to justify what it means, or like what the adaptation is from being able-bodied to all of a sudden being disabled. And if you want to watch a really good movie about overcoming such obstacles, The Diving Bell and the Butterfly,
Oh my God.
based on a true story about a man who is in a car accident and wakes up with locked-in syndrome. He has no ability to communicate except by blinking. And through determination and skill and caretaking, they figure out a way to have him use his eyes and his blinks to communicate with the people around him.
Yeah.
And it's a true fucking story. And yet people have the gall to write stories like this where, oh, he can't move his arms and his legs. His life is miserable. He's going to go kill himself, and someone's going to fall in love with him anyway, and they're going to walk away with a bunch of money at the end of it. They're going to be heartbroken but rich. Okay, that's a great moral of the story.
I think these stories, at least for me, like Sweet November, could be better if they're more upfront and honest about, like, I mean, because it is a fact of life. You can, you can fall in love with people who, get sick, or people get sick, during the relationship. That's why part of the vows is in sickness and in health. Yeah, which, everyone can determine their own threshold for whatever. But I don't like love stories that their foundation is manipulation. And that just, so these movies wouldn't really work for me. I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to watch maybe for you, just because I'm kind of interested in why this movie was so successful and why 2/3 of people like it. But at the same time, it does sound like I'm not sure what the story is. The person had already made its decision, and it just seems like his last deed of goodwill was to give his nurse some money, a broken heart and some money.
Yeah, I legitimately, I cannot watch this movie again, because it's not even sad in like a romantic way. Like, it's not Rose promising Jack that she's gonna live a life and do whatever. It's literally just a guy who has given up, and he finds like a small semblance of love, but because he can't do the things he used to be able to do, he's still just giving up.
Yeah.
And it's just a bad message. It's a bad story. And I mean, not to kink shame, I guess, in a way, like the people who do find something out of it, like, good for you, but it's a really weird and bad message, and it's an ableist message that is just insincere in its entirety, in my opinion. Like, This is
Yeah.
a movie that you're like, oh yeah, Emilia Clarke would be in this because no other self-respecting actress would be in this. They just threw a bunch of money at Khaleesi at the height of her powers and hoped that it would be a box office draw.
Well, you know what, Josh? Next week, we have movies we love.
We love talking about movies we love talking about.
Damn right.
So many good romantic movies we can suggest, but we've given a few to not watch this week. But Alex, let people know where they should be talking about these things.
Join our Discord. It's tsmackpod@gmail.com. The link is down below. Just give it a click. It's where we talk about everything. It's where you can find a recent discussion where Matt doesn't realize that He-Man / Masters of the Universe was still a thing that had several successful series on Netflix over the last 10 years. And that trailer looks amazing. I am so pumped.
It's a little too glossy.
But it looks
the
so
visual
good.
effects look a little too glossy. Like that has me worried. But the character designs look great.
Oh,
And we'll talk more about that in a couple of weeks when we do the Super Bowl trailers.
yeah. Oh, I'm so excited about it.
Even though this is a championship weekend trailer, like that's they're like, we're not paying the money for Super Bowl. We're paying the money for pre-championship weekend.
Oh, yeah. Travis Knight, I trust you.
Knowing that it's Amazon, it's probably going to be the early game too. They're not going to do the primetime game.
Not even before the coin flip. This is like, coverage has started. Here's our trailer. It's 2 p.m. Play it.
As Alex said, you can join the Discord by clicking the link in the episode description. If you are watching or listening on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can follow us on Blue Sky, Facebook, and YouTube at Talking Smack Pod, which if you're on YouTube, you already know this. You can email us at tsmackpod@gmail.com. Thank you to Leo Allen for our musical themes, Beppo for our original avatars, Retrorail Studios for our Ricky avatar. Once again, please like, subscribe, rate, review, comment on your podcatcher of choice. Thank you so much for listening, dear listeners. Thank you for being here, Alex. There's a TV show out there people should be watching. What is it?
Star Trek The Next Generation. Star Trek Academy is not good.
Who loves T-Smack?
I love T-Smack. Is it true? Mm-hmm. I do. Ooh.
Don't forget to go surfing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Surf the web and find some Star Trek.
I've been riding the Crimson Wave.
Only cool nerds watch Star Trek.
Oh, the coolest of them. And DS9 is goated.
And don't forget, you gotta like the Klingons. The Klingons are the coolest. Both start with a K.